1,
2,
3,
4.
Monster movie.
Fun time, go! Monster movie.
Fun time, go. Monster.
Movie.
Fun time.
Go!
Monster movie. Fun time, go.
With Precious D and Honey Bee.
Fun time, go!
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends and neighbors, welcome to Monster Movie Fun Time Go. I am your host, Precious D, and today we're doing one of those Kaiju Comics Corner episodes. I have with me from Laguna Studios, Sabrina Pandora and D. Sarah Fish to talk to us about Giant Girl Adventures, the 6th volume of which is kickstarting now. So welcome to the show, ladies, and please introduce yourselves so our listeners know whose voice goes with whose name.
Alrighty. My name is Sabrina Pandora, and I am the writer and creator of Giant Girl Adventures. And I am going to hand it off to D.
Hi, my name is D. Fish. I am the artist of Giant Girl Adventures. I'm also the creator of the web Dandy and Company and Finding D and the graphic novel The Wellkeeper, as well as a series of werewolf novels called The Haven Wolf Chronicles. And end of spiel.
See,
Wow,
that's why I go
there.
first, is because, yeah, her resume is so much more impressive than mine. I'm like, I write comic books. She's like, I do stuff.
Now, folks, this Kickstarter is only going on for, as of this recording, 6 more days. So I'm going to try and get this episode out right away, which means there will be a minimum amount of editing. So please excuse any pauses or coughs you might hear. But we're flying by the seat of our pants today. So this just came across my radar with this Kickstarter, but you guys have been doing this book for a while already. This is volume 6, and it's been going on since, what, 2013? Is that correct?
2012, yes.
2012.
13 years. Yeah, 13 years and counting. 13 years, Giant Girl. Old enough to get married in Alabama.
So tell us a little bit about the book. Who is Giant Girl and why is she giant?
Well, Giant Girl is our titular heroine of the story. While the camera does occasionally veer away from her, for the most part it is her story, but it's also the story of what happens around her. And she's a young woman who basically found the genie in the lamp and said, I want to be able to get really, really big and really small and dense and control the density of other things. And, you know, it all went on from there. And after that, she just kind of fell backwards into being a slacker superheroine. And the problem is when you get really big, you tend to do a lot of property damage. And so she's perpetually broke. So she's a hard luck heroine, as it were. And we've had 5 volumes prior to this one that I did with an artist named Koen Leuten, a Belgian artist. Brilliant guy, very creative and innovative. And the particular issue that you might be interested in would be issue 16, which is the Kaiju Island Chronicles, which is all about the giant monsters and the troops, the Japanese troops that occupy the island and maintain the shield to keep them contained there. And that's the one where they invite Giant Girl to come. If you wish to learn to battle kaiju, you must battle with kaiju.
I see.
So,
Well, ever since we did, I don't know if you know anything about this show. We've been going through the history of kaiju movies chronologically, starting with King Kong, and we included Attack of the 50-Foot Woman in that chronology, as well as The Amazing Colossal Man. So as far as we're concerned, 50 foot and up, if you're a human, you counts as a kaiju in our book, which is why we're talking about Giant Girl. So even if it were just her, she would count, but it's good to know that she's fought some other kaiju along the way. Unfortunately, that means we've also had to cover some movies like Attack of the 50-Foot Cheerleader, and the 50-Foot Cam Girl will be coming up.
Attack of the 50-Foot Centerfold.
Yes, I believe that's on the list as well.
I'm sorry.
But you got to take the good with the bad. Once you set a premise, once you set a premise for your show, you got to take the good with the bad.
I feel you. Well, we did 5 volumes, like I said, with Kuhn, and then he didn't want to do the book anymore, so we came to a creative parting of the ways, and that creative parting of that ways was he didn't want to do the book anymore. So the book kind of lie fallow with about 35 pages of the big 100-page giant that I was working on finished. And so Dee and I got to be friends, and we started collaborating through some mutual writing projects, and we got to know each other, kind of feel each other's boundaries out. And then she came back and said, "Say, that Giant Girl comic of yours, if you're kind of, are you saying you want to draw Giant Girl? Yeah, I draw Giant Girl. Done." I shook her hand so fast I heard it.
So, Dee, what drew you to pardon the pun? What drew you to Giant Girl?
The project and the series in general has a tone to it where it oscillates a lot between very tongue-in-cheek, irreverent humor, big action, lots of adventure, and it has a wonderful kitchen sink quality to it, where it's an anything can happen kind of book. And there was a huge appeal to that. I found the characters interesting. Kuhn's character designs for the existing characters were really, really fun. And it was during COVID. I was winding down on another project of mine, a graphic novel called The Wellkeeper that I'd finished. I was playing around with the sequel storyline that wasn't really going anywhere, so I wound down on that. I only had 2 other comic projects going at the time because I'm insane. And I was just kind of doing these pinup pieces for fun, little fan art pieces, and I did a piece of Ronnie, Giant Girl, fighting one of her nemeses, Badonkosaurus, which is one of my favorite character designs and an epic name. And I had a lot of fun with it. I like the scope of it and the challenge of trying to figure out how to draw the size-changing aspects in a way that I thought would be compelling and fun and sell the scale, and it was just a lot of fun, and I enjoyed working with Sabrina. We have a good creative rapport with each other, and it was a fun project. So when we put it out there, I took it on, and we took on this book.
I can add to that too that when Dee came on board, she brought a different skill set with her too. And so a lot of the book evolved from there, because by it being a collaboration, I'd bring a page to her and go, I overwrote this page, didn't I? And she'd be like, yeah, maybe a little. I mean, if we had a little more room to breathe here and here, we could do this and this. And so it was, nothing was set in stone. There were no absolute rules. And I think that really helped the project considerably.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, we're very focused on making sure that final product is as good as it can be. So, that's how a 100-page script turned into a 170-page book.
Yeah, that'll happen. Things expand, like Giant Girl does. Before we go any further, I'm supposed to tell you that Matt Frank says hello.
Hi, Matt.
Hi, Matt.
We were hanging out a little bit before Kaiju Go this past weekend. So he said he
Senpai
was working.
noticed you.
Yeah. So when I mentioned this was coming up, he was like, "I know those people." So yeah, you guys should try to make it out to Kaiju Go next year. It was a lot of fun.
Awesome.
A lot of fun. So tell us what's going on in this volume 6, which is what we're kickstarting.
The current volume is a wonderful tale wherein we tried to ensure that you don't have to read everything that came before. There's a whole big world of Giant Girl adventures out there, but if you just get this book, it's got everything that you need. We actually tell her origin story during the course of the book. It picks up in the land of superheroics where she belongs, and then transplants her to a fantasy world. So basically, we're taking a superhero and taking her to the world of Dungeons and Dragons.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Dungeons
And
and
so
Dragons is
because,
one of my things.
Because she has insanely overpowered superpowers. You know, she can get as big as she wants. That's the limit on her powers. So locally, she's kind of regarded as a titan because by definition, she kind of is.
Mm-hmm.
And she starts making emotionally based choices based on the fact that she can, and often that she feels that she should. She's conflicted through a lot of it, and she's by no means a perfect hero. And but of course she's accompanied by one, because you always have to have the paladin on the quest, right?
Okay.
And
Is that a hero she meets?
Bridemart the Paladin is one of the characters that she meets on the quest, who thinks she's in charge right up till a certain point.
Okay.
When she, you know, when she recognizes that her opponent is 600 feet tall and hanging her sword over her with her two fingers, going, "So about this." So with that, so with that said, it's yeah, D, take it.
So yeah, like Sabrina was saying, it is very much about taking this character who, while she's a slacker as a superhero, she knows the basic rules. She comes from a family of superheroes. She's been raised in that world, and all of a sudden, you know, she treats her power very flippantly, and she's being placed in a world where her powers do make her closer to the concept of a god in that world, basically. And with rules that are really very, very different from what she's used to. This isn't the we're going to send the villain off to prison because they're in a bank. It's, oh no, it's a horde of 10 million goblins. And how do you deal with that when you're used to dealing with supervillains and themed criminals, and that kind of evil is a very different flavor than the world she's getting thrust into, and she has to learn how to be both kinds of heroes better in order to both survive it and come out of it. So there is a lot of growth, pun intended, that she gets to go through along in this journey.
Okay. Now, you mentioned Dungeons and Dragons. Do you play a lot of Dungeons and Dragons? What made you want to send her into that world, that genre?
I played a ton of Dungeons and Dragons when I was a kid, and it was very formative for me. And as I was doing Giant Girl, at one point I realized that I loved Bill Willingham's Elementals, because he introduced the concept of taking superheroes into a fantasy realm, and that floated two of my boats at the same time, and I said, "These are two great tastes that taste great together. I'm in."
Okay.
So, all of the characters in the party, with the exception of Lexi, I think, are all old characters of mine. And Ali Kazam. Well, Ali Kazam is not one of my old D&D characters. He's a Giant Girl Adventures character. But
Okay.
yeah, most of the party are just old characters of mine, and I was determined to to take all of that time and all of the imagination and all of the love that I poured into those characters, and I was bound and determined that they were going to be seen, they were going to be recognized, and that people were going to get a chance to meet them and enjoy them and thrill to their adventures. Because by God, I spent a lot of time around that table, and I'm not wasting
Ah.
all that work.
Yeah, I'm still spending a lot of time around that table or these days in front of that computer. All our games are online these days, which means we end up playing more often. So that's fine.
Because of the convenience, you see.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Isn't
it
it
started because,
wonderful?
of course, it started because we had to, but then, yeah, it was convenience and also
It's
distance.
easier than leaving your house.
Oh, Dee, I was just looking at your bio here. You worked on the Perhapanauts?
Yep, I did a short story. It's in one of the trades. I think it's the
Yeah.
Zero trade. I did a very fun, I think it was a 10-pager about Chupi fighting zombies in another dimension. And
Okay.
I had done a piece of fan art for Todd DeZago and Craig Rousseau. Met them at Heroes Con years ago, and I handed them. I'm like, oh, I'm a big fan. I did this fan art, and it was them fighting zombies, and they were like, oh wow, this is great. And we started talking back and forth, and I was like, I got an idea for a story based on this, and wanted to know if I wanted to work on it. And I was like, hell yeah, I do.
Well, several, I think all of those trade paperbacks are on the shelf behind me here, so I'll have to, but I haven't actually read them all yet. So I'll have to flip through those, see if I can find it. Perhapanauts,
Mine
folks,
is all the way in the back in black and white.
Okay. That is a comic about cryptids fighting various paranormal things. So, like Bigfoot
like
and
that.
Chupacabra and Mothman and a ghost. And a couple of humans in
Carl-
there. just
Carl
for-
the
for good
Mothman.
measure. Yeah.
It's a
Carl.
really fun book. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, I just discovered it years ago, and then I rediscovered it on Kickstarter when he had his most recent couple of things. So, well, I didn't want to get sidetracked. It's just kind of a more obscure comic, and I was pleased to see it pop up there. So yeah, you guys should check that one out as well. So yeah, we're doing a Kickstarter here for Volume 6. What'd you say it was? 176 pages.
170 some odd.
174 pages, I think.
It's
An odd
Kicks-
number, as I recall, because we left room for ads.
okay. Kickstarter says 176, but we'll see.
There you go.
It's Giant Girl Adventures, Giants of the Earth, but Earth is spelled with a U because it's fantasy world like you'd do.
Exactly.
Now I noticed some not safe for work stuff here. So what would you say is the general age range of this book?
I
more
would say the
adults.
book is PG-13.
Okay.
But the R-rated version is available if you want the heavy metal version.
Okay.
And that is R-rated. It's not X-rated.
Okay. Okay.
And
'cause
we only
that is a
did
thing.
the not safe for work version as a PDF because we were trying to minimize printing costs with this run. But
Okay.
when we go back to print again with the next volume, which will be Pixie Girl Adventures backed with the Danger Team, we may go ahead and offer a printing of the not safe for work edition.
Okay. Well, I personally backed the digital catch up plus the new volume. I think I got the safe one though.
You will. That means that you'll get the entire Badonkosaurus saga. It's volume.
Okay.
It's volume 2. She's laugh all you want. she's got a good arc. I stand by it. I've gone back and reread it, and it's my early work, so you always look at it and cringe a little bit. But
Right.
honestly, there's a lot of heart in it, and people people are big Badonkosaurus fans because of her art.
Uh,
And
I'll,
she grows into her position as the queen of the kaiju. And
I
I'll
trust you.
shamelessly throw the plug. Oh please, please Matt Frank, please draw Batonkosaurus.
You hear that, Matt?
I really want to
We're com-
see that so badly.
I'll
No, I'm just
apply.
putting it out there to the cosmos.
Now, Matt and I aren't close friends. We're just acquaintances, but I'll apply whatever pressure I
You know,
can
uh,
from this
no,
end.
no, 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 no. I'm just putting it out to there to the universe. You
Okay.
know, that's
Okay.
all. That's all. Yeah, but yeah, I think you really will enjoy a lot of the back catalog. A lot of it is weird and clunky and awkward, and a lot of it is. And I did them in black and white exclusively because I had already formatted them for black and white printing.
Mm-hmm.
And when I looked at them, I actually like them better in gray tones than I did when they were in color
Okay.
because I prefer gray tones. If anything, I could have gone back and spot colored Ronnie red and all of it, but that would have been a lot of work that I was
Yeah.
not willing to do.
Yeah.
So
Now, folks, I'm backing at the digital level because I have no more room for stuff. But there is a soft cover edition and a hardcover edition of this book. And if you really want to throw down some bucks, you can get a life-size standee of Giant Girl. Well, I guess when
it's
she's not
very very large.
life
It's very
size when
large.
she's in her 6 foot form, not her. How big does she get, or does she just get as big as
I
she wants?
She can get as big as she wants, but
She gets
the
plot
standee
sized.
exactly. The standee, I think she's about 15 feet tall, but we just show her from kind of the arms up.
Okay,
That's why she life sized.
I
And
see. I get it.
we offered a whole bunch of incentives like portfolios
Yep.
and mouse pads and stuff like that to people so that they could support the project and support independent press. Woo!
Uh,
Laguna.
you should. I've interviewed a couple of kaiju related role playing guys on this show, and I'm thinking you should collaborate with some of them to do a Giant Girl supplement for one of those
I
games.
I did do I have a story written. I just haven't got an artist for it. That was based on a concept from Danny Gray, and he took a script writers meeting with me, and we knocked out a pretty decent script, I think. So I do collaborations from time to time. Yeah, again, the trick is you gotta find and pay an artist to draw what you wrote.
Yeah. Well, if it were a role playing supplement, you could just repurpose some of the existing art. But
Oddly enough, I just
if
had somebody approach me about a role playing system.
yeah,
So yeah,
well, there's several kaiju game role playing games out there, and of course, there's a whole bunch of superhero ones as well. So, if any of
we
the
could have a
people I've
toe in
interviewed
both
about,
camps.
yeah, if any of you guys that I've interviewed about your games want to do a supplement, you contact me. I'll put you in touch with these ladies, and we'll see what we can do. So, anything else you want
I got
to
a
tell us
whole
about?
island.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to tell us about before we wrap it up here?
D, you got anything you want to plug?
I always got something I want to plug. Let's see, this Saturday from 10 to 2, if you're in the Oil Region area of Western Pennsylvania, in the town of Oil City, I will be at the Oil City Library for the Oil Region Festival of the Book. It's a book fest for local authors, taking place in the little town square right in front of the library from 10 to 2, and I will be premiering the third volume of my werewolf series, the Haven Wolf Chronicles, Volume 3, The Knights of Argentum, will be premiering. It's a 575-page novel of werewolves and vampires and chaos and monster hunters as the bad guys, and it's a lot of fun. And if you're there, come on out. If not, the book goes live on Saturday at havenwolf.com.
All right.
And I will additionally plug Knights of the Dinner Table number 320 is coming out, and we are the inside front cover of the issue with our ad advertising the Kickstarter. And the Kickstarter, you can still support it after it's passed. So considering the distribution difficulties that many independent publishers are having, a lot of people may end up with that issue in hand kind of late. And just a shout out to them that we will still take Knights of the Dinner Table orders, by golly. So,
Right.
and and we're also appearing in that issue with a one panel gag from Adventures in Dungeoneering.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I've heard of both of those things. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up, ladies. Thank you so much for being here. My guests have been Sabrina, Pandora, and D. Sarah Fish from Giant Girl Adventures. There will be a link in the show notes to the Kickstarter, so please go check that out. Give them some support. Until next time, I have been Precious D. Remember to keep calm and take shelter in basements. Please don't misuse science. We won't see you, but you will hear us next time on Monster Movie Fun Time Go. You've been listening to Monster Movie Fun Time Go. If you enjoyed the show, please consider rating and reviewing us on your podcasting platform of choice. You can leave us a message and find links to all our things at mmftg.com.